How you doing, folks? Papa Joe here. Dead gum sun there. See if we can compromise. Can you see me now? That sun ain't so bad in my eyes. Did a post asking people what to make videos about. A little girlfriend of mine, she contacted me. Honey, I can't read your message, or I can't blow it up enough for the notes from our phone chat. But she was asking me to do some posts on survival stuff, emergency foods and whatnot. So, Nikki, hon, this is for you, dear. But don't tell that big ass husband of yours. He could be jealous. But I did know you before he did. I had spoke with her before about being ready, being prepped for whatever. Now they're kind of close to the coast, so hurricanes, although they're well over 100 miles, pretty near a couple 100 miles from there, still get bad winds and you get stuff from it. Whether our government goes stupid, you never know. The way they're going, I think they already did. You know, they're talking about that electronic magnet pulse to wipe everything out. Power grid goes down. We don't have the best power grid anymore. Lots of stuff can happen that will leave you in a bind. So you really need to be prepared for it. Our forefathers, our ancestors, they didn't have to think about this stuff. It was just everyday stuff for them. Nowadays, we got to think about it. We're spoiled. Like it or not, we're spoiled. Even if you're in the country, chances are you're spoiled. Can you get by without electricity? Can you really? Think about it. You on city water? If the whole city loses water, what you gonna do? Alright, now you're saying you can get by without electricity? How you gonna cook? Microwave's electric. Chances are your stove's electric. There's still a few gas stoves out there. Majority's electric. So how you gonna get by, folks? Some silly little stuff that you might not think about, but just put a bug in your ear. What kind of can opener you got? I bet you like my wife and you got one of them dadgum electric things that I can't work. Guess what? I got the old manual there in the drawer. I got a manual right back here in my truck. Although most of the canned goods I buy is Pop Tops, I got the old manual back there too. So, how you gonna open them cans up if you ain't got electric, if you got electric can opener? If you got a microwave and a stove, how you gonna warm it up? Some little things you need to think about. Now, what I tell people, and mind you, this is all just my thoughts. So, do to it as you so wish. Anything up to, except for, don't blame Papa Joe. So, now what I mean by that, our fine government, Mr. Obama, that's the politest thing I've called him in 8 years. He passed a law, whether you know it or not. One of his executive orders, I don't know if he used his ink pen or his telephone, but did you know it's actually against the law to keep more than, what is it, a week's worth of food, maybe 2 weeks, I forget exacts. But you know it's actually against the law for you to keep so much food? And in a state of emergency, our fine government can come raid your house and take your extra food for the masses. I don't think it's right. If I'm preparing and I'm set up for this disaster, whatever it is, and you're not, shame on you. Nobody should force me to share with you. If I want to share with you, that's a different ballgame, but they shouldn't force me to. So what I'm telling you is double check and make sure you want to do this, because it could put you breaking the law. I ain't going to give you my thoughts on all that. That's your thoughts to come up with. All right, let's go to the basics. 101, as my little sister likes to call it. She has me to do a basics 101. So here's your 101, dear. Get you a 5-gallon bucket. Now, your easiest way to get enough food to feed you and, say, a family of 4 for 2 or 3 weeks, which should be enough in any regular emergency or disaster. You get that 5-gallon bucket, you go on down there to the grocery store, and you commence to buying you some pinto beans and some rice. Now, you don't have good pinto, you can get a wide variety. The only thing, you can live off of it. Now, the only thing is, eating up beans, you got to punt them. You can shoot it straight through there. That is one of the downsides about beans. It'll clean you out, which is good for you. Alright, now that's basics, and that don't cost you much. Now this 5-gallon bucket that you went and bought, and I would buy a brand new one out of Lowe's, Walmart, wherever, I don't care. Please don't go to Walmart, I hate Walmart. On the top of that lid, you're going to start a list. And let me turn that down just a little bit for you. I forgot the AC was on. You're going to start a list of what all you put in there. 4 pounds of pintos, 2 pounds of Navy, 5 pounds of rice, whatever. Alright? Now, what I like to do is I call them little surprises. You're going to need different things for different times. Now, if you ain't got electricity, candles are your easiest. Get you some candles. Get you some wooden matches. Stick you a couple candles and some wooden matches in that box. Or in that bucket, I'm sorry. Now, if at this time you're going to get you some canned meats, if they don't have pop tops, stick a can opener in there. If you get one of those canned hams, dollar store and them like to sell them. They're not very good, but they'll keep you alive, and that's what you got to be thinking about now, survival. You're not trying to fix some fancy meal, you're trying to stay alive. So if you get one of those hams, you got to be able to slice it. Now, yes, I understand that you have knives in your drawer. Do you have one in that bucket? If you got no one in the drawer, put it in there. If not, go to the flea market, yard sale, Dollar General, Family Dollar, whatever. Get you a cheap nonsense knife and put it in there. Ain't got to be fancy at all. Put it in there. Now you're going to start setting up different buckets if you're smart. Each one of them's going to have a little bit of beans and rice in it. Each one of them will to have a couple candles in it. Now, depending on how much beans and rice you're putting in there, how long this bucket is going to last a family of 4. Okay? So, I would suggest every so often you can buy one of them pretty little rolls of nylon rope. Get them at Walmart, a couple bucks. I'll throw one of them in there. I'll throw me some fishing line in one. Some hooks, a couple bobbers, a couple sinkers, little packs. Why? Well, you don't know what's going to happen. Alright, let's say we have a complete meltdown. Alright? Now then, you've got this stuff stashed, and I'm not going to go into how to stash it and stuff. If you know me well enough, contact me. We'll talk. I ain't going to tell on here, and to give anybody any ideas that don't need to know where you might be stashing stuff. However, what if the locals that didn't prepare run through your house? They overtake you. Okay? What food you've got out, they done got it all. And they probably took everything that they could. They're not going to leave you much. Now, do you want to leave yourself scratching and sniffing and trying to come up with something? Or do you want to have something hit out? Basic survival. That's what we're talking about. So let's have something hit out. So in each of these buckets, you're going to put different little things. And you don't want to put all of none of it in none of them. Boy, that sun's going down fast. I hope I don't lose the light where you can't see me. So we've covered the candles. We've covered matches, a can opener, beans and rice, some different canned meats, okay, some fishing line, nylon rope. Now, how about, check this out, how about one of them little emergency blankets that you see back in automotive? How about a couple of them stashed away? How about a couple of the ponchos? These things come real small. They don't take up much room. How about throwing a couple of ponchos in somewhere? Alright, it ain't all bad. Now, you continue to do this. Something else I would suggest. What about toilet paper? What goes in must go out. So now you've got all this food going in. Now guess what? Sooner or later it's got to come out. How about some TP? How much do you really keep on hand right now? You know, it's pretty hard for TP to go bad. Don't think too many people would steal it. Now, time bad enough they will. If they've done been out there using pine cones or corn cobs, they might want it. But how about getting some of them 24 packs? They're not that expensive. Stick one in this closet, one in that closet, one in the attic, one in the basement, one out in the barn. Don't do it all at one time, but you know what I mean? Have a little bit of TP stashed away. How about going to the Dollar General store, real cheap, for $1, you can buy that old Suave's shampoo and conditioner. How about grabbing some of that? Now you can stick some of that in your bucket. I would put it inside a Ziploc baggie, just in case something happened, protect your beans and stuff. And your beans and rice, leave them in the packages that they come in. You know? The only way that you'd take them out is if you got one of them vacuum packs, you know, sucks the air out. Well, along with that, if you get online, they've got them little bitty things that you always see in your purses and your shoes and all that. That absorbs moisture. Well, now you can buy them online and you put them in your beans and stuff. It ain't going to hurt you. That's why it's packaged up. Unless you eat it, don't eat it, dummy. They have the same sort of thing that takes oxygen out of your packages. If you remove any chance of moisture and oxygen, your stuff's going to last a lot longer. Alright? So if you go getting them beans, and trust me, the plastic that you buy the beans in at the store, they're not waterproof. They're not bug proof or nothing else. So if you go and get you some of the Velcro bags or whatever they call it, or just get some of the vacuum seal bags, throw a couple of them critters in there, suck the air out of it, seal it up, put it in your bucket. That's the only way I'd take it out of the original package. Alright, so there you go on that. You've got your TP stashed around. You've got a few candles. You've got you a knife or two. And if you got an old pocket knife laying around, throw that in a couple of them buckets. If you pick one up at the yard sale, that's cool. What about sharpening them? Pick you up the old sharp stone. We call them wet rocks. I don't know what y'all call them. Put that one in a bucket somewhere. I would highly suggest that you have a good chopping axe and a hatchet them in a bucket, but you ought to have them around. If you ain't got gas or electric and you need to cook, you need something to cook it on, some wood, something to cut the wood up with. There you go. What are you going to cook in? Now, I know you got your pretty pots and pans in the house. How are those really going to hold up if you have to cook outside? Why don't you get you a Dutch oven, some kind of cast iron? Remember those cast iron? Get you some kind of cast iron with a lid. They're not cheap. I ain't gonna lie. The better ones, the older ones, cost you a little bit. I'd pick one up and have it on hand. Alright. So now you've got a little bit of food to cook. You've got something to wipe your butt. When you get in that shampoo and stuff, about grabbing the body soap. You can buy some pretty cheap body soap. Have that stashed around somewhere. But once again, any of this kind of stuff you put in with your food, put it in its own bag. Keep it separate in case something happens, it melts or whatever, busts, whatever. Okay? So now you got a way to cook. You got you a couple pots and pans. Now what about your drinking? Now you can put you up some water and it doesn't hurt. Now there ain't too many of us left who got those chest style freezers. If you save your milk jugs, rinse them out real good, put your water in there, don't fill it all the way up, on about 2/3, 3/4, because the ice swells. Actually, you can save yourself a lot of money lining the bottom of your freezer with them jugs. For one thing, it makes your freezer not run so much if you got a chest top. If you got the regular kind on top of your icebox, probably ain't going to work too good for you. However, you can still stash you some water somewhere. Water does get stagnant, and you do want to put it where it's not in the sunlight. While you're at Walmart, go back there to Sporting Goods, and they have some water purification pills. There'll be 2 bottles in the pack. One of them is iodine. Another one is to remove the iodine. The iodine makes your water good where you can drink it. The other one, but it leaves terrible smell in it. The other one is to remove that terrible smell so you can drink it. And I would put some of them in every other bucket type deal. Okay. Now I spoke to her about a bug out bag. Your bug out bag, that's for when you get overran and you got to leave to save your life. The bad guys are done coming in, whoever they are. And you got to grab and run. Well, you want to have a bug out bag that's already set up. That, now where I was saying before, some of your stuff you might get around the house, blah, blah, blah. Your bug out bag, you want it ready now. You don't want to be trying to gather up a knife or a pair of scissors and throw a pair of scissors into one of them buckets too. A little bit of tape, a little duct tape. Boy, that duct tape is just about saved America, ain't it? Put some duct tape in there. Your bug out bag, once again, you want some fishing line, hooks, sinkers, them little ponchos, emergency blankets. We get the peanut butter jars. You know, they're not the little bitty ones, but they ain't that big monster either. We get those, and my wife saves them, and she washes them out. It will hold over a pound of beans, and it'll hold over a pound of rice. Me and the wife both have a bug out bag. Mine's bigger than hers, but I'm bigger than her. The main thing is that if we get separated, we both have a means of survival. Of course, I don't plan on us to get separated. However, it happens. So whatever I put in mine, I get for hers. So she has a emergency blanket, I do. You know, ponchos, the fishing lines, the hooks, the sinkers, the iodine pills. You can't get enough of the iodine pills, people. You want them things. They're pretty cheap, like $3 or $4 for a pack of them. You know, for the little card with the 2 bottles. You want some of them in there. At one time, one of the Walmarts I was at, they had a Jim Bowie knife, big old rascal. It was like 20, 25 bucks. I got 2 of them. One for Mama, one for Papa. I have us both a hatchet that attaches to our bug out bags. If you have a survival store around you, or not a survival, the Army surplus, they have a pretty decent fold-up knife if you get the GI type. You can go to Walmart and get the cheapy one that ain't going to be worth a damn. First time you got to use it, you'll get mad, and if it don't break, you'll break it. Go to the GI store, get your real one. While you're at that GI store, that military surplus, get you what's called a duty belt. It's a military belt that fits around our waist. It's got tons of little pairs of holes all the way down it. And they have canteens that's got little hooks that are made to hook into there and different stuff. Your magazine holders and stuff. Which those can be used for more than just magazines. But grab you a couple of those. One for you and one for her. Or one for you and one for him. Whoever. Get you both at least 2 canteens apiece. That ain't very much. So get you at least 2. I'd suggest more, but at least 2. Okay? At Walmart, I'm trying to think of stuff that I've accumulated over the years for me and Mama. Let me grab a drink. My son's going to kill me. This thing's getting long. 22 minutes already. Go back there into the camping department and just kind of look around and think about this situation. They have a limb saw. It's just a cable. Got a ring on each end where you cut with it. Get one of them. Or 3. But just think about some of this stuff, folks. There's a few other little tricks. I'll make another video of this here in a little bit. I'll watch this, and over the next couple of days, I'll put out another one. But that right there should start getting you thinking about what you need to do. It should give you half a clue of what you need. There's a whole lot that we haven't covered. I don't want to cover too much at once. You can't afford to do too much at once. So watch this video a couple times. Take you a few notes. And those that actually know Vicki that asked me to do this, there's a few little tricks that I told her that won't go on here. So contact her if you know her. And if you know me, you can contact me. But make you a little list and start getting you some stuff up. Like I said, the main thing, get you some food. Make sure that you have a way of purifying your water. Preferably, if you can stash some water, stash some water. And just think about, if the electricity goes out, how am I going to feed my family? If you think about it like that, you'll be all right. You start getting it figured out. Come back on here sometime, and here in the near future, I'm sure I'll do another one of these. Probably pretty soon. But hey, if you like my videos, please click the like on the video, subscribe to my channel, and share the word with folks. Go check out some of my other videos. I am now in 11 countries. This old hillbilly is worldwide. I'm going to have to make a sign for my truck that says World Headquarters. What do you think? Hey, y'all have a great evening. Remember, God loves you. So do I. Bye.